Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. It's a battle of divisional leaders as the Dodgers invade to play the Pirates. Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Baseball on ESPN. I'm Gary Miller and we'll be getting you out to the stadium in just a moment. The Pirates and Dodgers still yet to meet this season, although they did get together for a few minutes on Tuesday. And they got in an inning and a half, and then the skies open up. Van Slyke had homered in that game, but the Parrot got in a lot more activity than the Dodgers and Pirates did, and so they'll try to get game one of their series in right here on ESPN this evening. Bright sunshine this afternoon in Wrigley Field. Afternoon action between the Cubs and Giants as they continue the series. The Giants having won the opener. Cubs looking for revenge this afternoon, and Ryan Sandberg connecting through the infield off the caveman, Don Robinson. Dunston and Bosky score part of a huge 5-run fourth inning for the Cubs that broke open the game. And the eighth, that was 5-1, with Ced Landrum on third. Rick Wilkins lays down the perfect suicide that's murder for the Giants. The Cubs win it 6-1. Bosky gets his first win since April 27th. Dave Smith got up a bases-loaded jam in the eighth for his 15th save, as Willie McGee extends his hitting streak, equaling the longest in the majors this season, 16 games. Other stories we'll be keeping you posted on throughout the game include the Phils' Tommy Green, the National League's ERA leader, looking to remain unbeaten at the Astrodome. The Twins take on the Yankees. Minnesota 2 wins shy of the longest winning streak in franchise history, and Toronto tries to take back the East lead against the knuckleball of Tom Candiotti and the Indians. Also this afternoon, Fernando Valenzuela made another start, one of 3 American League matinees. We'll tell you how he did. We'll keep you posted on all the other action throughout the game. Baseball tonight is coming up right after the Dodgers and Pirates. Right now, we're set to go to Three Rivers. Major League Baseball here on ESPN Wednesday night is next.
Certainly reflects the team and the city in which it plays. Pittsburgh sports are black and blue, and you bring your lunch bucket to work. Doug Drabek has just started winning, and Pittsburgh thinks they've got a winner on their hands at Three Rivers. The skull and crossbones is being waved again, and they are led by the big bat of Bobby Bonilla. He's their RBI and home run leader. Compare the Pittsburgh Pirates to the exuberant Lasorda Los Angeles Dodgers. In La La Land, they've got a winner too, and they are happy about it. Guys who are experienced, who have been there before, and they are winning. They are packing him in at the Ravine, even though Darryl Strawberry has hardly begun to hit. Will this be the site of a future playoff game against the Pittsburgh Pirates? It could well be. And they've got the Bulldog back. Tonight, the Dodgers in Pittsburgh. They are the National League Eastern Division defending champion Pittsburgh Pirates, and they've been in first place this year since April 27. Tonight at their home, the Pirates take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. And yes, the Dodgers are also #1 in the Western Division, up by 3. Atlanta, Cincinnati, and San Diego still very close. The Eastern Division, can the Pirates run away with it? They're 5.5 up on New York. St. Louis and Chicago will also have something to say about that. Welcome to Pittsburgh, everybody. Gary Thorne and Dave Campbell. And David, tonight, 2 teams with great pitching staffs.
Really, you hear so much about the offense on these teams, but the Pittsburgh Pirates have given up the fewest walks and allowed the fewest home runs in the National League. They don't beat themselves. The Dodgers, hey, the Dodgers have always had great pitching, leading the National League in earned run average. They also don't give up very many homers or walk very many people.
And when it comes to offense for the Los Angeles Dodgers, the top of the order.
Yeah, you hear so much about Strawberry and Murray and Daniels, but the 2 guys at the top, Brett Butler and Juan Samuel, have scored 30% of the runs. Juan Samuel is #2 in the National League, hitting to Tony Gwynn. He has been absolutely magnificent in the early going.
And we used to talk about the double Bs on the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're still going to do that, but we're going to change the name.
Yeah, Barry Bonds gets a little bit of an omission, and we're going to talk about Bobby Bonilla and Jay Bell. Bonilla, you figured, but Jay Bell leads the National League shortstops in RBIs with 26. He also has 16 sacrifice bunts. He has been a great offensive contributor to the Bucs.
Dodgers have one of the best leadoff man in baseball, Brett Butler. He's in center field. The league's second leading hitter, Juan Samuel, at second base. The hits have just started to come for right fielder Darryl Strawberry. They've been there all season. At first base, Eddie Murray. Same is true for Cal Daniels starting in left field. Great offensive start at third base, Lenny Harris. Mike Scioscia, more Dodger games caught than anyone else. Alfredo Griffin batting eighth at shortstop, and the right-hander, Mike Morgan, on the mound.
Doug Drabek has had a history throughout his career of slow starts. This year, no exceptions, but only one earned run in the last 24 innings. He has found his fastball in good location with the breaking pitches. Mike LaValliere will catch tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Checking the defense on the infield, Jose Lean highlights. He is an acrobat at second base. Orlando Merced, Jay Bell, and Jeff King run out the inner defense. Barry Bonds, his glove is where doubles go to die in left field. Andy Van Slyke, a three-time Gold Glove winner, in center. And Bobby Bonilla is improved in right. The Pirate outfield defense has been superb this year.
And we are ready to go, as it'll be Brett Butler standing in for the Los Angeles Dodgers. For those of you who thought you were going to see the Mets and the Atlanta Braves, they've got a rain delay there. So hang in with us. And we want to thank the Pittsburgh Pirates and Dean Jordan in particular in Pittsburgh for allowing us at ESPN to bring this ball game to all of you nationwide. Thank you very much to Dean and the Pirates. We welcome you, and we'll keep you posted on what's going on with the Mets in Atlanta. Swung out and missed by Butler. He's having a great road trip right now for the Dodgers to go along with his season. He's 8 for 29. The Dodgers in the 8th game of a road trip in which they are 5 wins and 2 losses. These two teams have not met before this season. They tried to do it last night, but a torrential downpour took care of that 2 innings into the game. Andy Van Slyke lost a home run as a result of that. Pirates were up 1-0, but they didn't get beyond the second inning, so they try it again here tonight. Butler second in runs scored. Dangerous man. 40 times he's crossed the plate, but he won't this time. He's going to go the other way. Drabek gets the strikeout.
Talking to some of the Pirate personnel early on, they said that Drabek could not isolate his breaking ball in the strike zone in the early going. He throws 3 curveballs to Brett Butler for strikes. If you can throw 3 breaking balls to Brett Butler every time he walks up there, Brett Butler would hit 150. He's a dead fastball hitter. Most pitchers can't throw 3 hooks for a strike. Drabek just did.
22-6 last season. This year 4-7, but a .295 earned run average. And that one is taken down low by the league's second leading hitter. What a season offensively again for Juan Samuel. Only Tony Gwynn doing better. Gwynn starting the day at .363. Samuel second at .340. He's got an 11-game hit streak going coming into tonight's game. And he's one of the best hitters on the artificial carpet you'll find. What he's done in the last 20 games, that's an incredible number over a particularly long streak. And is he going to keep it going? Bell, nice pick by Merced at first, and Bell at short.
Talk with Ray Miller, the pitching coach of the Pittsburgh Pirates, as Merced pulled that out, and he said the most underrated thing about our ball club is the tremendous defense we've played. Jay Bell, great play to his left, off balance throw, and Merced digs it out of the dirt, and they tell us Orlando not all that good at first base, but he scoops one right there.
Taking over for Sid Graham, of course, lost to free agency in the offseason, and he is getting the job done. The reaction to Darryl Strawberry, who grounds it to the shift. Jose Lean, and Doug Drabek has himself a great start as he retires the side in order and very efficiently to boot. Last season, it was the Pittsburgh Pirates taking the series against the Dodgers 8-4. Leading off, Orlando Merced. He's earned the job at first base, getting the job done at shortstop defensively and offensively. Jay Bell. Andy Van Slyke, slow start at home for him. He'll be in center field. All around, great numbers. Bobby Bonilla, switch hitter in right. Barry Bonds trying to pick the offensive pace up. He'll start in left field. Back off the DL, Jeff King. He's starting at third base. Mike LaValliere, hot back right now doing the catching. Jose Lean at second base, and on the mound, the 20-game winner last year, Doug Drabek.
Facing the Bucks will be 30-year-old right-hander Mike Morgan. He's in his 10th Major League season, making his 12th start. He is 0-4 lifetime against the Pittsburgh Pirates, 4th in the National League in earned run average. He has not had much run support from his mates. They've only averaged 2.8 runs for him. Mike Scioscia will try to do something about that offensively after he catches Morgan here in the first. Lenny Harris may be winning the third base job. He has played very well of late. Alfredo Griffin, Juan Samuel, and Eddie Murray round out the infield. Darryl Strawberry is in right, Brett Butler center, and Cal Daniels in left. And one thing the Dodgers have done better of late is play much better defense.
Orlando Merced will be leading it off against 6 and 4. Mike Moore. Merced, one of 7 leadoff batters used this season by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Gary Reedus and Merced will primarily fill that role in the leadoff spot. And I asked the Pirate skipper, Jimmy Leland, before the game, are you satisfied with the leadoff spot? Can you live with that for the season? He said, absolutely. He said, I think Reedus and Merced, platooning them in and out of there, will do the job as far as the leadoff batter is concerned. You see, he has struggled a bit of late, but certainly on the season, some very good numbers. Mike Moore trying to get his first win ever against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Morgan, rather. He is 0-4 against Pittsburgh lifetime. In those 5 career games, a fairly substantially high ERA. There's some nasty stuff.
Well, both leadoff hitters like the fastball. Morgan, like Drabek, drops the hook on Orlando Merced. You control that breaking ball, you're going to get a lot of people out. Merced way out in front of this, reaching.
For Morgan, that is strikeout number 47. He had 106 strikeouts last season while walking just 60. He will let his infield do a lot of work. He is a ground ball pitcher. In fact, he had the second highest rate of ground balls in the National League last season. So the Pirates will have to battle that as Jay Bell stands in. And he catches the outside corner. Ed Montague working the plate. Ed Rapuano at first. Bruce Fleming, the crew chief. And Greg Bonin or Bonet. Depends on who you ask. The crew chief says it's Bonin.
Bonet, Bonin, there's the crew chief, Bruce Fleming. Working on a chaw there of some variety.
1-2 delivery, misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fleming was funny. They asked about the pronunciation of his crewmate, Bonet. He says, yeah, it's Bonin. And somebody says, well, Bonet asked for the French accent. He says, oh, he keeps changing it. Swung on and missed. Morgan strikes out the first 2 Pirates that he faces.
Both pitchers doing it very efficiently, getting ahead with a breaking ball, finishing off hitters with breaking pitches. Major league pitchers, you would think, can throw breaking pitches for strikes anytime they want to. That is erroneous. When they throw them like that, the hitters don't hit them.
Pittsburgh Pirates do not strike out very often. They have the second fewest strikeouts as a team in the league. The Los Angeles Dodgers pitching staff, though, is right up there at the top in strikeouts. Well, there's a battle for you as Andy Van Slyke takes a strike. Van Slyke, there you see the numbers, not good for him, and particularly not good at home for some reason this season. He's been batting around the 200 mark here at his home ballpark this year, inexplicably. On the road, he's had some pretty decent numbers, but not here. And there's what he is at home right now. Ow. 1-1 to him. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Dwayne Ward of Toronto is certainly not the first pitcher to ever say this, but Ward's been around 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden this year they said, how come you're pitching so well? He said, I learned the value that the best pitch in baseball is strike 1. Both of these pitchers have gone strike 1 to every hitter that's walked up there except Sam Weld. He went 2 balls, no strikes. But when you get ahead, you can put away hitters in a hurry.
Then they have to guess. Morgan ahead on the count here. Ball, 2 strikes and 2 down. Nobody on. There goes the bat and the ball. He did foul it off, went all the way back to the backstop. And there's the bat all the way over to the dugout. As it rolled in, Orlando Merced throws it back out.
Mike Scioscia, the Dodger catcher, talked to Mike Morgan this winter and says, you are my project this year. Mike Morgan has always had very good stuff, but the guy is 59 and 98 lifetime. Scioscia said, with your stuff, we are going to turn you into a consistent winner. And Morgan believes in Scioscia, and maybe that little boost in confidence helps.
Sure won't hurt. Tapped over his head towards short. Griffin is there. And that will do it for Andy Van Slyke and for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So both pitchers retire the side in order to start this ball game. Nothing after one. First inning, they thought he missed first base. Bruce Fleming got involved in the question of when the pitcher threw over for an appeal when he was on the rubber. Was it a balk?
Smiley stretched, and for the purpose of making an appeal, he went directly to first base after he stretched from the rubber. And that's where the argument and the confusion came in. And first off, Gary, to be honest about it, when Eddie Montague came out to me from behind the plate, I believe that Lasorda's argument had some validity because I had never seen the play. Nobody had ever seen that play. I've been umpiring 34 years, where the guy did not step off an appeal. He went right from there. So the first thing that was in my mind was, for the purpose of an appeal, he has to step off. Well, during the rain situation, and the reason we changed it was a younger umpire came in, Greg Bonin, and I said to Greg, who I have a lot of trust in all the umpires, you work as a team, I said, Greg, here's the play. He said, Bruce, he can go directly from the rubber. I said, it's good enough for me. I said, I think Eddie and I are confused on it. We're going to stay with the runner, keep the runner at second base, and we changed the play. We sent the runner back, and we kept him at second base.
It was not a balk. Fouled off.
I think there's going to be a rule clarification, and from here on out, it will be known as the Smiley rule, the John Smiley rule. You know, the thing that Jim Leland brought up a very good point. He says they teach their pitchers to throw from the mound on an appeal because they said if they make a wild toss into the stands, from the mound is only one base. If you back off the rubber, you become an infielder. Then it's two bases if you make an errant toss.
Eddie Murray's ground ball. Orlando Merced will play it to the bag himself. Murray's retired, and there's one away. But it caused a great furor during the game last night and after. It all resulted for naught because the game ended up being rained out. But Jimmy Leland just wanted to know what the rule was, and so did the umpires. So you can throw to appeal from the rubber. It is not a balk.
In case you think I'm crazy by saying a guy might throw it in the stands, remember this year in Major League Baseball there have been 3 wild pitches during intentional walks. It does happen.
One down and nobody on. Here's Cal Daniels. And he's fisted on that one. That is going to be a foul ball. Tommy Lasorda's point last night was that when Smiley threw to first base to make the appeal saying Samuel hadn't touched it, and threw while he was standing on the rubber, that constituted a balk, that you've got to step off in order to make that appeal play. And there is nothing directly out of the rule book that you can look at and say, no, that's not true. But that is the interpretation, that you can do it from the rubber. So little knowledge for you there from the umpiring school. Nice block made there. Tommy, a bit quieter these days with the loss of his son, of course, over the past week, and really just trying to get himself back into baseball now. When something like that happens to you and you lose a child, it is a road. It has to be sowed to get back into the game. And he is much quieter. Long walk before the game. Stays in his coach's room a little longer, and understandably so, and the respect shown him by writers, players, etc., to give him some of that time we saw here tonight. The 2-1 way behind. Oh, was he fooled by Drabek on that pitch?
Cal looks betwixt and between right now. He was late on that first fastball and didn't look like he knew what he wanted to do with that pitch. Cal started and maybe wanted to try and stop, but ooh.
They break your wrists on that one. Drabek's delivery to him is right through everybody. LaValliere got crossed up on that one, I believe. He started up. The ball went down.
Yeah,
3-2.
Ed Montague's probably telling LaValliere, hey, knock that thing down. That almost got me.
May have gone between the wickets of both of them that time. Actually, Montague's got a little smile on his face as he put the mask back on. 3-2, 1 down, nobody on, no score here in Pittsburgh. Top half of the second inning. Daniels waiting. Nice stop made. Jose Lean. And there are 2 down. And keeping us posted tonight in the other games, Gary Miller.
Gary, we take it to afternoon action in Anaheim. Teddy Higuera and Fernando Valenzuela, fellow lefties and Mexican countrymen going at each other. Valenzuela struggling against the Brewers. Paul Molitor, 3 hits on the day. One of them his 5th home run of the year. A 2-run shot. Yount had 4 hits. In 2 starts this year, Fernando's gone 6 2/3 and given up 9 earned runs. Higuera combines on the shutout.
Not what he had in mind. Here is Lenny Harris. They have been looking for a third baseman for the Los Angeles Dodgers for about 4 years. They've had lots of people play it. They've got one right now, primarily because of those offensive numbers he's putting up.
Yeah, Lenny was miffed at the beginning of the season. He hit over 300 last year and still didn't have a regular spot. Tommy Lasorda seemed to favor Jeff Hamilton, but right now they're in a platoon situation. Of course, the grand slam homer that Lenny Harris hit in Chicago was against a left-hander, Chuck McElroy. So Lenny was trying to make a statement. I want him in there every day.
He's playing at a ballpark. Will do him some benefit if the numbers hold up. He is a .390 hitter on the artificial carpets this season for the Dodgers. That's why he hits those kind of ground balls. But Lean is there for this one. Drabek, who is a ground ball pitcher, is getting the ground balls. 5 in a row and 1 strikeout. He's retired all the Dodgers he's faced. Go. Mike Moore against Bonilla. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, when it comes to offense this season, my oh my. Bobby Bonilla. Great numbers for him. And for a team that has struggled a bit at the plate, the others who they've looked to produce, like Van Slyke and Bonds.
Mike Morgan has gone one better than Dwayne Ward. He says strike 1 and strike 2 are the best pitches. He's been strike 1, strike 2, and everybody has walked up there.
And Morgan's not taking a lot of time getting the ball up to the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Deep in the batter's box. Bonilla just missed with that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a little high and inside. Certainly has favored the job against the righties for the average. The home runs off the left-handers. 4 home runs this season, given up by Morgan. Played to the bag by Eddie Murray, and Bobby Bonilla's out of there. We're seeing 2 pitchers who are definitely on, Dave. These are 2 ground ball pitchers, and that's exactly what they're getting.
Well, Ray Miller, the pitching coach of the Pirates, has a definite philosophy of pitching, and that is work fast, throw strikes, and change speeds. I think Mike Morgan's been listening to the Pirate pitching coach as well, because Doug Drabek and Mike Morgan are doing just exactly that.
Morgan here facing 2 of the toughest batters that he faces in the league. Bonilla, 500 hitter against him, is gone. Now Bonds, who is 6 for 14 lifetime against Morgan, stands in with 1 down and nobody on. The RBI number's still there. The average not where he would like it to be, but he's getting the long ball and RBI. And a base hit. There's the first hit of the game. Strawberry will get it back in, and Bonds is on with a single.
Well, it may be a moot point, but reading the game inside the game, that's the first guy Morgan fell behind, 1 ball, no strikes, and Bonds promptly got the first hit of the game. A lot easier to hit when you're ahead of the count and tougher to pitch when you're behind. He comes in with a fastball, and Berry finds the hole between Murray and Samuel.
So Bonds is on at first base. And now Jeff King. King coming off the DL, 15 days worth of it. He had a lower back strain. He's been hitting the long ball of late. 3 home runs in his last 25 at-bats, and a close play as Eddie Murray thought he had him, and he's talking about it to the first base umpire, Ed Rapuano.
Well, Berry took the false step to second. He was running. Morgan, a tough guy to run on. He holds runners well. Last year, Mike Scioscia and company were able to throw out 13 base runners with Morgan on the mound, so he gives his catchers a chance.
Look for the hit and run play here with King up and Bonds at first. And stepped off. Bonds didn't go back, so Morgan threw over the second time. The reason I say look for the hit and run, Jimmy Leland said, I'm going to make you look good. We don't hit and run very often, but I guarantee you I'm going to hit and run at least once in tonight's game. And that's a strike of the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Take the hit and run off.
Yeah, he likes to hit and run with LaValliere and Jose Lean, and occasionally Merced and Bell, but Jeff King not a real contact hitter, but he's ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes right now, so maybe the Pirate skipper will make you look good here.
Leave it on. It is 0-1. 1 down, no score. Not running. And he jammed him on the fist. Missed inside, 1-1. Pittsburgh Pirates, the best record in baseball. The Dodgers, the Western Division leaders, with a 33-23 record and a 2-game win streak coming into this one. Jimmy Leland's club here at home, 19-13 thus far this season. Bonds back.
I think it really impresses you about the Pirates is their efficiency. We mentioned in the open about the fact they've given up the fewest walks, the fewest home runs as pitchers. On offense, they have the fewest men left on base. That's the best offensive statistic they have, but they don't waste opportunities.
I asked Jimmy about that again before the game because the number that amazed me, this club, the Pittsburgh Pirates, has the fewest at-bats in the major leagues. The Yankees have the lowest number in the American League. You figure a team in first place, they're going to have a lot of at-bats, a lot of hits, etc., but that's not the way they've done it. They're third in average, but they're 11th in hits and last in at-bats. That means when they get somebody on, they get somebody around.
Jay Bell, 16 sacrifice bunts, 10 of them in the first inning. Leland plays for 1 run. Why, you ask? Well, the Pirates are 28-3 when they score first. That's rather impressive.
And as Leland said, we do not have a team that's going to run a lot. So we don't have a lot of speed. One of the speedsters, though, Bonds, is on right now. And that's drawing the attention of Morgan, who's making the throw over. Now, one of the concerns here in tonight's game both ways when somebody gets on, these two catchers, Socia and Lavalga, are having enormous problems throwing people out. They're among the bottom 5 in percentage of catching base stealers. Grounded, foul, just foul outside of third. For Mike Socia, he has thrown out just 7 of 45. That's not a good number. And look at Lavalliere on the other side. Not much difference there. And there you see a bottom 5 who would just as soon not be in that category.
Yeah, you don't want to make that list, but so many times the pitchers sometimes don't give you a chance.
Here's the 2-2. Runner goes to right field. Strawberry all the way at second. Strawberry's got a chance. More than a chance. Murray takes it, and Bonds is doubled up. He went all the way down, standing up. Touch second base. Strawberry just lobbed it in. It's a double play. No runs a hit, and nobody left on. Has been a major acquisition for Montreal with a new skipper. Drabek ready to go. Mike Socia stands in and takes the pitch down low for a ball. Drabek won his last start against San Diego. Went 7 innings in that one. And he's gotten by one of the toughest innings, the first. He had given up 10 first-inning runs in 12 starts this season, but not here tonight. Socia just missed outside, and the first time we see one of these pitchers fall behind 2-0. Lifetime, 4 wins, 3 losses against the Los Angeles Dodgers. 2-0 delivery. Little respect for Mike Socia.
Socia, the type of guy this situation will definitely be taking. Not a man in scoring position, not a big home run hitter, so Mike will be looking at one here.
Have Griffin and then the pitcher coming up. So Drabek's trying not to feed him one he can put the hammer on. 3 balls, 1 strike. There you see Griffin, shortstop, waiting on deck. He has been struggling at the plate. One reason Drabek will work around Socia. 3-1 pitch to him. Left field. Bonds in the line drive right at him. 1 away.
Routine catch there for Barry Bonds, but he got a pretty good compliment the other day from Tony Gwynn of the Padres. Tony, after watching Barry play left field for 4 games, said this is undoubtedly the best left fielder I have seen since I've been in the National League. I made the comment at the opening that that's where his glove is where doubles go to die. That's a takeoff on the great Willie Mays. Somebody said that's his glove is where triples go to die.
3 gold gloves when you got Bonds, Van Slyke, and Bonilla in the outfield, as the Pirates do tonight. They cover a lot of territory. Griffin struggling on this road trip as he has this season. He's had just 4 hits and 27 at-bats in the road trip. The average has dipped a little more. And the shortstop thought about it, laid off it, and finds himself behind on the count 0-2.
Again, the difference between Drabek now and Drabek early. Doug was not getting the curveball over for strikes. His fastball is not that good if he can't set it up with his breaking pitches. He's throwing the hook for strikes a huge percentage of the time tonight.
And he just fought that one off. Oh, the count of no balls and 2 strikes. Drabek with 1 strikeout. Morgan has 2 thus far in the ball game. Opposition hitting .280 against Drabek this season, well above the .255 against him last year. Left-handers this season, 244. The right-handers are hitting only 191 off Drabek. All 5 of the home runs off him, 4 this season rather, come off the lefties. That one's going to be fouled off again. So 1 ball, 2 strike count remains. Griffin hanging in. So far the weather holding up. It's a beautiful night here in Pittsburgh. Boy, the thunderstorms last night were something to see. That one blooped towards right center field. Could be trouble. It is a base hit. In no man's land. And there's a 1-out single for Griffin. Let's check in with Gary.
Gary, Budweiser takes you to Baltimore. Brett Saberhagen hasn't lost since April, facing Leo Gomez. And he makes this guy look like Luis Pasteur. Brian McRae calls off Kirk Gibson to do this. Well, Saberhagen survived it as he looks for his 6th straight win at scoreless against Milwaukee and the Orioles in the 2nd.
No score here, 3rd inning, but the Dodgers have their first base runner, and here's Morgan, the pitcher, with Griffin on at first. Guess what he's going to do?
You think Brian McRae's too old for a spanking? Dad may say, hey, come here, son.
Usually nobody hurts more than the man charged with the error in that situation. Morgan charging his king at 3rd, and Merced at first, taken for a strike. Joe Amalfitano, 3rd base coach for Tommy Lasorda's Dodgers. Let's see what he has done this season at the plate. King already in at 3rd, Merced holding and then charging at 1st. Drabek just trying to see if he really is going to bunt. Both these teams will be playing to pick them up 1 at a time. The way these 2 pitchers are working tonight, and both these teams do anyway. 0-1. Butcher Boy to short. Bell. Force. Got him at second base. And Griffin can't believe it. And here comes Lasorda.
Now, that could be a case of Bruce Fleming say, hey, the correct play is to slide. You don't slide, I'm going to call you out because it's a bang-bang play. The professional way to handle that play is to slide, and Griffin did not.
That Butcher Boy cut was almost perfectly placed with the 3rd baseman in and Bell moving over to cover second base.
Look at Bruce's eyes.
Oh, that was it.
Get a look here, and you see how Jay Bell starts moving towards second base. Then he has to go back and just barely gets there. Throw to second base. Can't tell from that angle, but again, Alfredo Griffin did not slide, and the umpires say, hey, the play is to slide. Looks like he might have gotten there, but Alfredo, you're supposed to slide, pal. Alfredo. Cool.
Butler fouls it off, so Morgan ends up at first base on the fielder's choice. Now there are 2 down. Lasorda goes back to sit next to Alfredo Griffin. You can't help but argue that play.
You just wonder, Alfredo Griffin had that back surgery in January. Is that why he doesn't slide? I don't know. You're supposed to slide in that particular situation.
Now Brett Butler will try and keep the inning alive now with 2 down and the runner on at first base. Butler called out on strikes his first time up, batting at .273. There's Morgan at first. Merced playing behind him. Morgan not going anywhere. And Butler chops it off. A ball and 2 strikes.
Drabek against the Western Division, 1990, 11-0. He dominated the West, and the Pirates went 46-26. That's how they won the Eastern Division, by dominating the West last year. This year, they're killing the East and kind of playing 500 against the West.
Incredible numbers against the East. Pirates are 23-8 against Eastern Division teams. this season. It is a very big number against the Western Division. They are 12 and 11. And ironically, these two division leaders meeting for the first time this season, so they will see a lot of one another over the next couple of weeks. And the Pirates head out to the West Coast. 1-2 delivery to Butler. He chops it towards third. This is a tough play. King to first. Did not get him. Morgan stops at second base.
Now, Jeff King made a great play and then made a major mistake. He had Mike Morgan at second base on the force by about 10 feet. For some reason, elected to go to first base, and Brett Butler can flat fly down to first. So a great play by King, but he did not make an intelligent choice. He should have gone to second for the routine force to end the inning. You see King over, makes the great play. He's got Mike Morgan by a wide margin, still not down to second base yet, but he can't get Butler. So a little bit of a vapor lock for Jeff King after a sensational play.
Well, let's see if the Dodgers can do anything with it. They've got the man up there they want. Juan Samuel, robbed of a base hit by Bell in the first inning. He's batting up around the 350 mark with runners in scoring position. A very good clutch hitter this season. 2 down and 2 on, no score. And Drabek misses up high to him. Ball 1.
One of the things you have to do as an infielder, and this is what the thinking part of baseball is, you always have to think, if the ball's hit at me, to my left, to my right, if it's hit slowly, what am I going to do with the ball? Obviously, Jeff King didn't think that out ahead of time. Otherwise, he would have thrown to second base for a routine force to end the inning. Too late, Jeff. You got to think about it ahead of time.
He has learned. You can tell he's learned on that play. Morgan on at second base. Butler at first. Samuel, 1-0 pitch by Drabek outside, and unlike the first couple of innings, this inning Drabek has fallen behind a couple of batters. He does here, 2-0. Drabek, the careful eyes of Ray Miller, the pitching coach, and Jimmy Leland. Miller on the end of the bench with a dark jacket on. Leland in the center of your picture. You know how important Drabek is to this staff on a season-long basis, and it looks like he's gotten it back together again after the tough start.
Great seriousness in the Pirate clubhouse today around 4 o'clock. Jim Leland and Gene Lamont were taking out a couple of the players in a basketball game. They had a little mini hoop set up in there. Hey, you got to have a little fun in this game, and Leland and his staff and his players get along very well together.
A great quote in the paper about that today. 3-0 count. See if there's a green light. Samuel. Bases are loaded. Column today in the local paper talking about Jimmy Leland and how much the players like to him. I thought a quote that had a little bit of a sting to it was in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Ron Cook's column. It said, Jimmy Leland said, and I quote, "The players have been real good to me about picking me up. They kid me. They tell me I've still got a while to go as a manager. They're not ready to get rid of me yet."
He does have a good relationship with his players. They know he's the boss, but he also treats them fairly, and that's what today's player wants.
Well, big point right here. Bases are loaded with 2 down, and you've got Strawberry at the plate. A lot of home runs hit right here in this ballpark, and he played for the Mets, and he's trying to continue that for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's just a ballpark where he likes to hit. He has 34 career home runs against the Pirates, and 19 of them here in Pittsburgh, and a very good number against Drabek. 0-1 count, 2 down, no score. And Drabek inside, 1-1.
A lot of major league pitchers and pitching coaches will tell you, and we say it often, that there's 2 crucial spots in a ball game. If you're going to win your game, you must get a key out. Doug Drabek is facing situation number 1 right here.
He has not given up a home run in his last 5 starts. 1-1 delivery. Strawberry takes it, stays off it. It's low, 2-1.
Crucial pitch coming for Drabek. He's behind a big slugger, 2 balls, 1 strike. Let's see what Doug throws. Let's see if he has enough confidence in the curveball to throw it to Strawberry here.
Morgan, Butler, and Samuel are the base runners. 2-1, 2 away. Strawberry, 2-2.
Threw him a slider. Darrell looking fastball. Ball came in his hand. Drabek establishing the breaking ball. Now he has Strawberry a little bit by the back of the neck. He's throwing 2 curveballs, or a curveball and a slider for a strike. Guessing game right here.
Strawberry coming back on Monday. Had been out for 7 games with a bad shoulder. 2-2 count to him here. Drabek's delivery. Strawberry is gone. He got him.
ESPN Major League Baseball is brought to you by Miller High Life. Buy that man a Miller. Buy that fan a Miller. And by new Black & Decker Power Driver. It's more than a match for any job.
This is where the Stanley Cup resides, and there are some fans of the Pittsburgh Penguins, winners of the National Hockey League Cup.
Well, Doug Drabek threw a curveball 2-2. The ball's elevated a little bit, but again, one of Ray Miller's dictums is change speeds, and that's exactly what Drabek did. He took a little off the curveball, and Strawberry over the top of it, and that's a big strikeout. Second happiest man in the ballpark, Doug Drabek. The happiest with Jeff King. He got Jeff King off the hook.
Mike LaValliere leads it off here. Drabek now with 2 strikeouts back and sitting. Strawberry has now struck out 48 times on the season, but has drawn 31 walks. And LaValliere fouls that one off the other way. The Pittsburgh catcher evening the count up with a ball and a strike. Spanky's really picked up the offensive numbers, raising that average to 270 with 9 hits in his last 25 at-bats. Morgan up high doing 2-1.
Yeah, Spanky hit his first triple since 1986 the other day, and somebody asked him what would have happened if Gene Lamont, the third base coach, would have waved you home. He said, I wouldn't have made it because I would have stopped and killed Lamont.
Right through the legs of Morgan into center field, and LaValliere's on with a base hit. Gary?
At Olympic Stadium, Expos staking Boyd to a 4-0 lead when Bill Dorn hits a bullet up the middle. Marquise Grissom, and here comes Todd Benzinger. The throw home, and Gilberto Reyes is ready. Knocks his helmet loose, holds onto the ball, but the Reds scored 3 times as the Expos come to bat in the second.
There's another catcher, only he's on. That is the second hit for the Pirates. Jose Lane, his first at-bat. Outside for a ball. Lead-off single for LaValliere.
Well, Reds manager Lou Piniella about 3 days ago said he felt his club was ready to gel. They've won 3 in a row. They're trying to come back from a 4-0 deficit, and they're closing the gap there against the Expos.
Long look at first by Morgan. Lean fouled that one off down into the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lean will be followed by Drabek, bottom third of the order here against Morgan. Gave up a single in the second inning. And then LaValliere's leadoff single here. Lean's job now to get him moved around. That won't do it.
Hit into 20 last year. That was second only to Dale Murphy. So Jose hits a few too many ground balls in situations like this.
And as we said, it is tough not to hit a ground ball off Morgan. He will really keep the infield busy, as he has already done here tonight. Ironically, the one double play they have in this game was the fly ball to Strawberry and right. Neither of these teams does a lot of running. Los Angeles 5th in the league in stolen bases. Pittsburgh is 10th. Double play. Griffin, 1, relay, Samuel in the dirt. Good pick by Eddie Murray at first base. They'll get the force out at second, and Murray, with that pick, prevents the runner from moving up. Fielder's choice for Jose Lean. 1 away. LaValliere's gone. Lead runner, bring up the pitcher, Drabek.
Well, Drabek checking Gene Lamont as third base coach. So far, Doug has not laid down a successful sacrifice bunt. We don't know whether he's not had too many opportunities or he has bunted poorly, A or B. Maybe that's why. He's swinging the bat pretty well.
Pretty good numbers. 1 extra base hit, a double. This time he squares. Runner waits, and it's inside, ball 1.
Well, the way he took that first pitch, leaving the bat back, that's not a good position to bunt the ball. You can see what Gene Lamont might have in mind. Remember, Tommy Lasorda had Mike Morgan go for the Butcher Boy, pull the bat back and take a swipe at it, and Drabek, pretty good hitter. Lean, halfway decent speed at first base, not a burner.
No score, bottom half of the third inning. We're really seeing a National League game. Eddie Murray was charging in at first. Morgan stepped off, and you see Murray's just now getting back to the bag. There was nobody there.
Well, Murray has a signal like all first basemen do with his pitcher, and the signal he gave Morgan was, I'm charging, don't throw over to first. I think Morgan didn't get it, but he had the presence to back off the rubber at least.
1-0, and Drabek again turning. Lets it go by. 2 balls and no strikes.
You could see from that last shot we had with Lenny Harris right down Drabek's throat and Griffin edging over to second. There's a lot of room on the left side of the infield to try to chop one through. Morgan almost found that hole. But Drabek's got a lot of room over there, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. Doug's going to check one more time. Going to have a little conversation with Gene Lamont here.
Not real sure about the last set of signs. He thought about just standing in there and not doing anything about it, then decided, no, I think I better go down here and just make sure.
They're comparing nose itches right there.
Now, when you rub your nose that way, that's what?
Yeah. Gene, you have nose hairs.
That's right. That's all it is. 2-0 count. Now Morgan takes a long time, and Drabek steps out. Good speed at first and Lean. That's in there for the strike. 2-1. Back we go to taking signs.
See how the infield moves. Harris charging, Griffin going to short, Samuel going over to cover second, and Murray charging. That's what creates so many holes in the infield. A lot of times we talk about double play depth. We're going to give you a chance to show you exactly what that is. Just a second. Drabek doesn't pound on this baseball. There you see the shortstop, second baseman. That's basically double play depth. If nobody's on, they play back in these spots.
Runner goes, and Drabek was swinging and fouled it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
When you play double play depth, the reason you do that is you have to assure yourself to be able to get to the base to turn the double play. But what it also does is create some extra holes for the batters to hit through. So in order to complete the double play, you cheat towards the bag and shorten up a little bit. That's why sometimes there are more holes created for the hitters to hit through.
Well, Drabek's trying to help himself now. 2-2. Stepping off, Morgan wanted to try and get a sign whether or not Lean was going to take off and whether or not Drabek still might square around here with a 2-2 count. Runner goes, swung on and missed. Socia for the double play. Not in time. Stolen base for Jose Lean, and for Socia now it's 7 out of 46. 2 down.
First baseman, Orlando Merced.
Pretty decent jump by Lean. Morgan, although he does have a good move to first, you saw the high leg kick there, and that really hinders Socia. Lean gets in with a stolen base for Jose, just his second of the year.
Now Orlando Merced with a runner in scoring position, Jose Lean. Merced this season, .444 with runners in scoring position. Will he get another? Yes, he does. A base hit. Lean makes the turn. He will score, and Merced gets it done. Pirates lead 1-0.
Well, Merced has been struggling, but he comes up with a key hit here. And remember the stat we gave you earlier. The Pirates are 26-3 when they score first. And this is the value of the AstroTurf. On a grass field, Samuel definitely has a chance to at least knock that ball down. He probably doesn't throw Merced out, but he keeps the ball in the infield. And Lean would have to hold it third.
16 RBIs for Orlando Merced. Wow, what kind of numbers. That's 13 for 28 with runners in scoring position. And there's one. That's going to be trouble. In the corner. Strawberry over to get it. Merced on his way around third. He'll score. Going for the triple is Bell. There'll be no throw. 2-0 Pirates.
We talked at the top of the telecast about the new killer bees this year for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's 27 RBIs for Jay Bell. That is tops of all National League shortstops. He finds the corner, and with Merced off with 2 outs, pretty good bet to score. And then when Strawberry's throw gets away from Samwell, that ensures that Bell will make third. The triple RBI, and the Bucks have drawn first blood, lead 2-0.
And they are getting this done with 2 away. Strawberry had to wait for that ball to bounce around in the corner. That is the 3rd triple of the season for Bell. Squeeze was on, a safety squeeze. Bell not charging until the bat was on the ball. So Jimmy Leland mixing it up a little bit, trying to catch the Dodgers on their heels. 2-0 lead for the Pirates. Doing this with LaVallier's leadoff single. Lean hit into the forced play. Then Drabek was struck out 2 down, but Merced the RBI single and Bell the RBI triple. Now Andy Van Slyke try and get another in. 0-2 on him. Jay Bell only had 12 major league triples prior to this season. Not really a just. That's a pretty good number, but 3 already this season. Morgan with the 0-2 count. And Van Slyke stays alive.
3rd inning has been key. Doug Drabek got out of a bases-loaded mess, striking out Darryl Strawberry. And on the other side of the coin, Morgan, when he had to get to key outs, did not. And again, that's often the difference in a ball game. 2 clutch hits by Merced and Jay Bell have given the Pirates a 2-run lead.
Bell at third base, the 0-2 to Van Slyke. Andy batting .230 overall, including the 0 for 1 here tonight, but .267 when he's had a runner in scoring position. And he has always been a real good clutch hitter. 1-2 delivery. Just missed.
Slick lost a homer last night in that rained-out game. The Pirates had a 1-0 lead on Van Slyke's homer. He said, hey, kind of the way it's been this year.
Morgan checks third base. The 2-2. Van Slyke will fight that one off. Big middle part of the order here if he can get on base. Bonilla waiting on deck. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, and a 2-0 lead for the Pirates. Andy Van Slyke goes to left field. Daniels moving over in fair territory, puts it away, but the Pirates come away with 2 runs, doing it on 3 hits, leaving 1 base runner on, and they're up 2-0. Played at 3 here, Gary. 2-0 Pirate lead. You see the line as Eddie Murray, first ball hitting to center. Andy Van Slyke, a couple of steps back, had him perfectly played, and Eddie Murray's 0 for 2 against Doug Drabek. 1 down here in the 4th inning. You see the efficiency of the Pirates Dave and I were talking about. You saw it in the 3rd inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 left on. Get them on, get them in. Drabek, 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. Dodgers left the bases loaded in the 3rd inning on Strawberry's strikeout. Now Cal Daniels. Daniels batting at .250 on the season.
One of the keys to that inning, one that will not show up in the box score, is basically the ground ball that Jose Lean hit to shortstop Alfredo Griffin. A real snappy double play combination would have turned 2 on that. Griffin was a little slow getting out his glove. Samwell did not make a especially good turn. Lean beat it out, eventually scored second, and then the roof caved in on Mike Morgan and the Dodgers.
Jose Lean, 1-1 delivery. Good off-speed pitch, way out in front of it. 1-2.
Dodger defense in the early part of the season, 33 errors in the first 20 games, but they've only made 13 in their next 26, so they have played better defensively, but that's still not their strong suit.
Getting away with a lot of that. Not a lot of unearned runs scored against them to this point, which is when it really starts to hurt when you see that. Drabek outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both these clubs, skippers who believe in playing the fundamentals. Tommy Lasorda, Jimmy Leland. Hit the ball, catch the ball, don't make mistakes. 2-2 delivery by Drabek. Deep to right field. Way back, looking up. Goodbye, home run. No question about that one. Cal Daniels. It is a 2-1 Pittsburgh lead. That is the first home run off Drabek in his last 6 starts. 5th off him this season. And that baseball was launched. Cal Daniels, 7 home runs and 32 RBIs.
Hanging sliders are like the IRS. Sooner or later, they get you. I mean, this ball is crunch. Cal Daniels knows he's got it.
So Daniels puts the Dodgers on the board. That is their 3rd hit. And that one is to Lenny Harris outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wow, did he punch that. .313 average for Harris towards the hole. Merced, Drabek covering, takes the flip. And there are 2 down. Well, some great golf coming. The U.S. Open right here on ESPN. The first round coverage of the 91 U.S. Open from Minnesota starts tomorrow at 11, and note also at 5. ESPN will have live coverage of the first 2 rounds tomorrow and Friday. So join in the U.S. Open exclusively right here on ESPN. Premier golfing event in this country, of course. And you can catch it starting tomorrow. 2-1 lead for the Pirates. Drabek now with 2 down, and Mike Scioscia to the strike.
My former broadcast partner in San Diego, Jerry Coleman, longtime Yankee second baseman and member of the Yankee organization, used to call that kind of slider that Drabek threw Daniels. It was a Ralph Terry slider, the kind that he threw Mazeroski in the '60 World Series. It kind of spins and sits in the middle of the plate and says, "Hit me." And Cal Daniels did not miss it.
Tough way to make a memory if you're on that end of it. If you're on Daniels and Mazeroski's end, you don't mind at all. Here's the 0-2 with 2 down, and he is staying away from Scioscia. That one missing outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mike, batting at .267. There was no question about that home run, David. He just got all of it.
Now, Cal waits very well on the ball. He had 15 opposite field homers last year, so he'll take the fastball to left. But if you get the breaking ball up, he'll hammer it deep to right. He nailed all of that.
Drabek. It's his 3rd strikeout, but not before Daniels delivers the 1-out homer and makes it a 1-run ball game. Hershiser was throwing a bit on the side today, getting ready for that next start. Pirates here 2-1. And Bonilla, first ball hitting. Eddie Murray at first will make the flip. And that'll take care of that. Morgan getting over to cover. Bonilla's 0 for 2, has grounded out twice just that way.
We talked about Morgan throwing the ground balls. Last year, Mike had the best ground ball ratio of any pitcher in the National League. Nearly 3 ground balls to every fly ball out. That's a guy that needs the Dodger defense to play good.
He's getting him to chop it into the carpet here thus far tonight, except for that 3rd inning. We'll see if he can go back to retiring the Pirates on ground balls. Bond stands in at a single his first time up.
Tom Friend, who writes for the National out on the West Coast, said Wee Willie Keeler, who played with the Dodgers one time, made the famous statement of "hit them where they ain't." The way the Dodgers were playing defense early, Friend said the way to beat the Dodgers is to hit them where they is.
Speaking of the National, word around today is they are gone tomorrow. Foul back. That is just a rumor, I guess, but the reports are being circulated that the National Sports Daily may in fact no longer be. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 1 out. Mike Morgan. And Bonds to 3rd. Lenny Harris right there. Soft line drive. Easy play for him, and there are 2 down.
Article today comparing Lenny Harris, at least in stature, with another guy who played 3rd base for the Dodgers, Bill Madlock. Mad Dog. Both kind of short and strong. Madlock, of course, won 4 batting titles, but Lenny Harris having a nice year.
Very good offensive season for him. Over 300 right now. 2 down, bases empty. And King takes the pitch for a called strike on the outside corner.
Harris had 4 errors in his first 13 games. Has only made 1 in his next 34. So that's part of the improvement in that Los Angeles defense.
Morgan wanted it, didn't get it, missed down low, 1-1. Talked about this Dodger pitching staff. Their starters, a note by the Dodgers, have a 1.67 ERA in their last 8 games. And that is not atypical of a Los Angeles Dodgers starting rotation, and they have got it again this season. Don Paranowski, the pitching coach, in the center right there, doesn't have to do a whole lot except sit and watch and wait for a starter to tell him he's tired, which also doesn't happen very often.
Well, just about every time I see Perry, I think about his quote this spring when everybody was asking about Brett Butler and Darryl Strawberry and the Dodgers this and the Dodgers that, and Paranowski said the Dodgers are, have been, and always will be as good and no better than their pitching.
7 complete games, 6 shutouts so far for the Dodgers staff. And there's that starting rotation in numbers.
That's why in the last 41 years the Dodgers have only finished below 500 5 times. They always have the pitching. They always contend.
Pitching will always carry you in this game over the long haul.
Drysdale, Koufax, Osteen, the list goes on. Sutton, Hershiser, Valenzuela.
A bullpen that doesn't get a lot of work, and that one is fouled off. Look out. Oh my gosh, the ball boy down there actually thought about catching that, which is not a good idea.
I think we're pretty fortunate. Not only did the ball boy not get hurt, but the guy standing behind him somehow avoided.
Security guard down there was the ball went right between them, right off the glove. Swung on it, missed. Gets the strikeout. King retired. Morgan's got 4 strikeouts now, setting him down in order in the 4th. With a 2-1 lead, Dodgers run on the Cal Daniels solo home run. Bell RBI triple, Orlando Merced RBI single, picking him up for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Drabek against Griffin ahead on the count 0-1. We were talking about Dodger pitching. It's just the other way for the Pirates of late. Their starters in the last 7 games have an ERA of over 6, with the opposition batting .350 against them in those games.
I talked to Ray Miller. I said, what's the deal? He said, control problems. I said, walking some guys? He said, no, control in the strike zone. Too much of the middle of the plate. He said, we've been giving up a lot of hits. The Padres out-hit the Bucks 50-25 in a 4-game series, but again, to show the Pittsburgh resourcefulness, they split the series 2 games apiece.
That'll be handled at short by Bell, and Griffin is 1 out of 2. 1 down here in the 5th inning. On the season, though, as we said, this staff of Pittsburgh overall second in ERA to the Dodgers, and it sure has been humped up in those last 7 games. So Drabek trying to turn that around.
Yeah, the left-handers especially, Zane Smith and John Smiley and Randy Tomlin have really been tattooed, and they were 18-4 at one time. Now those left-handers are 18-8 between them. They've had a couple of bad outings apiece.
Their southpaw staff, of course, well renowned. They are a 3.08 ERA, the southpaws, but in their last 4 starts they've gone 0-4, and their ERA is 10. That one taken down low. Pirates, of course, acquired all those left-handers primarily to go against the New York Mets, who had struggled against left-handers. Darryl Strawberry has had that problem last couple of seasons, so the Pirates loaded up with lefties, figuring the Mets were the team they would compete with, and still is that way. 1-1. Breaking ball misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Morgan hit into a force play his first time up. Zane Smith, one of the lefties for the Pittsburgh Pirates, on the bench watching the game.
Pirates actually have 6 left-handers on their staff, 3 starters, 3 in the bullpen. That is topped, I think, only by the California Angels, who, with the addition of Fernando, have 7 left-handers on their staff.
A lot of wins there. 2-2. Outside corner, he's gone. He just painted that one. So Morgan, strikeout victim. Drabek has 4, and there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. But to remind you, on Friday night, you will see the Cardinals and these Los Angeles Dodgers. Oral Hershiser ready to make the start for the Dodgers on the comeback trail. 10:30 Friday here on ESPN. Pittsburgh leading here by a score of 2-1. Gary Thorne, Dave Campbell, great to have you with us on our ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball game. Good house on hand here in Pittsburgh. And with 2 away, Butler, the leadoff batter, who singled his last time up, threatens the bunt. Ball 1.
And the beat keeps going on for Brett Butler. Good numbers against Drabek. 165 career bunt hits. That's about 12% of all of his base hits have been via the bunt.
Not the situation the Dodgers want him up in with 2 down and nobody on. The leadoff batter who does the great table setting, as we mentioned at the start of the game, he and Samwell.
Jim Murray, the great columnist of the LA Times, says Brett Butler is like a woman going out to pick out a dress when he picks out pitches. He saw more pitches last year than anybody in baseball by about 250 pitches.
Look what I found. Drabek makes the play, and Butler is retired. A 1-2-3 inning and a 1-run ball game.
ESPN Major League Baseball is brought to you by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore. It's quality on the road.
Mike LaValliere leading it off, goes to left field with it. It's playable for Cal Daniels, who will haul it in on a sinking line drive as he smiles at the bullpen.
Yeah, the reason he's smiling is because he stubbed his toe and almost fell on his nose. Put those feet under you, pal.
1 down. Pittsburgh leading by a score of 2-1. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. It'll bring up Lean to be followed by Drabek. Mike Morgan hasn't walked anybody and has struck out 4. And no matter what I say, he's not going to be Mike Moore when this game's over. I've tried to make him Mike Moore a few times tonight, but not to be.
Out in Oakland, somebody's saying, hey, Gary, get the right guy, will you?
Tony, I did not disrupt your staff. 2 balls, no strikes. Ooh, I almost did it.
What, you almost spilled the coffee?
That would have been 2. I've already had 1 coffee on my scorebook, which is now appropriately stained brown for the season.
Yeah, but the good thing is that we spilled it opening day, so you got it out of the way for
That's
the
right.
air.
But I almost did it again. And the 2-1 by Lee, it fouled off.
You know, kind of looking at Chico Lean, I go back, Jay Bell had a comment, and one of the reasons, even though they aren't drawing tremendously well here in Pittsburgh, but one of the reasons this team is loved so much by the fans here, Bell said, hey, we got Bonds and Bonilla and Van Slyke and Drabek, you know, glamour type guys, but he said basically we are a blue collar team, and they are. They're very efficient. They get the job done.
Second base. And Lean is gone as Samwell makes the play, and there are 2 down. Let's check in with Gary Miller.
Gary, here's the teams chasing the Pirates and Dodgers. Ron Darling in a bit of a jam. Greg Olson laying down a bunt to try and move Sid Bream to third. Bream's going to make it. Ron Darling's got almost no chance to get Olson, but he scoops and gets his man. Gets a big out because the next batter, Mark Lemke, decides to squeeze. Here comes Bream chugging home. And Darling tries it again. Rick Cerrone with a great plate box. And the Mets hold off the Braves. They're scoreless in the 5th.
Great play. Talking to Ron Darling the other day, Ronnie's problem he's had in years gone by, they aren't scoring any runs when he pitches.
Absolutely, but you just saw a perfect illustration of why Ron Darling has been a Gold Glove winner. Sometimes the Gold Glove you argue with, but Ron Darling, great move to first base, really feels his position well.
Drabek on the ground ball to second. Samwell again on the middle hop will get it. And Morgan retires the side in order. He has now set down the last 7 Pirates. Good one underway. Typical National League game. Pirates up by a run.
Well, earlier today, those out here at Three River Stadium had a chance to catch. First of all, I told you, you can't play shortstop left-handed anyway. Clank.
Could you hear the metal on that?
Do you eat with those hands?
Just barely.
Holy.
The only one I missed. The only one I missed. I want to thank the Dodgers for...
I also found out why you're so messed up. You feel left-handed and hit right-handed.
3.5 hours we played today. Do you believe that? It was beautiful here. And Todd Maulding, the bullpen catcher, a good friend of mine. So we do that once in a while just to enjoy this game of baseball.
That's right. Only 2 guys from Maine throw left-handed and bat right-handed. You and George Bush.
He's done all right. One Samuel. 1-0 count on him.
Yeah, but you're making more money.
And a great stretch. Orlando Merced at first base, saving King an error on the throw. Well, they say he's not the best defensive first baseman. I'm not so sure.
Plays this one nicely, gets his feet ready to throw, and Merced goes across his body to come up with a nice play. And as usual, Darryl Strawberry always gets some kind of reaction from fans everywhere.
Number 1 in balloting for the All-Star Game Outfielders National League, batting .222, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, but the name Strawberry will attract votes no matter what the numbers say. You can see he's one of those big power hitters. You'll miss a lot of them, but boy, when he gets a hold of one, look out. 2-0 count on him, and in a one-run ball game, this is where you have to be very careful with a guy like Strawberry. He can tie it up with one swing of the bat. Drabek's 2-0. Two-one count.
Come on back in, guys. The outfielders getting some paint against their back. Bobby Bonilla, yeah, he's not too bad, but Van Slyke in center and Bonds in left are about as deep as you can get in the yard.
2-1 delivery to him, and Strawberry cranks one to center. Andy Van Slyke. Strawberry's gone, 2 down. Gary Miller.
Gary, last night it was a 2-1 game in extra innings. Mike Timlin for Toronto against Cleveland had a no-hitter in his first major league start. That's how it broke up. Felix Fermin, the only hit so far. He got through the 6th. He's got a shutout going as Toronto tries to pick up a game on Boston. They lead 1-0.
Boy, would I love to see a winning ball club in Cleveland one more time. Drabek against Eddie Murray. And Murray goes the other way to left field, and he got all of that one. Bonds going to have to watch that one bounce to the base of the wall. Eddie Murray's on his way to second base. He's got himself a double. And his first hit of the game, coming with 2 down here in the 6th.
Murray just takes the breaking ball the other way and stalls it. Jose Lean said something to Eddie and says, "Don't be scaring me." That fastball. Pardon me. Thought it was a hook. Barry Bonds was going to try for it. Plays the carom. Open base here. Cal Daniels, who homered his last time up in, and Lenny Harris behind. I think Drabek's got to make sure that he doesn't give Cal a pitch to go deep on right here.
Eddie Murray's got his 10th double of the season, represents that potential tying run in this 2-1 ball game. And Daniels, who's got 32 RBIs. Let's see what Drabek will do with him. He comes in with the off-speed strike.
Daniels hit a slider his last time up. Drabek started him off with a curveball. Again, because of the change of speed and the tight rotation, Drabek now and then can get away with a high curveball like that one to Daniels. He struck out Strawberry earlier. Most pitchers, you throw a curveball in that zone, well, it's going to get tattooed, but he's got good rotation on it.
Murray a big lead at second base with 2 away. Daniels with that home run, his 7th, came with the bases empty in the 4th, has now had 3 home runs in his last 4 games. So he's found the power, and not a bad average, got 254. Eddie Murray, they're not holding him close. Bell, the shortstop, behind him, but a good deal behind him. 2 away here, the 1-1, and that one drilled to right field. Base hit. Up with it, Bobby Bonilla. They're going to hold him at third. He runs through it. He is dead meat. See you later. He ran through. Joe Amalfitano signed. It remains a 2-1 lead with an unhappy Tommy Lasorda. Well, that was the potential tying run. Eddie Murray coming to the plate on the single by Cal Daniels, but he ran through the stop sign. By the time he realized Joe Amalfitano was trying to hold him up, he was walking halfway between home and third. It becomes the 3rd out of the inning with a play made at the plate on the throw by Bobby Bonilla. And credit Bonilla, no matter how far in advance of the runner, the throw was there. Ball 1 on Orlando Merced, who lines that one to center. It'll back up Butler. Brett hauls it in, and there's 1 away.
Butler, a terrific judge of fly balls, very rarely ever takes a false start, so he gets the balls easily that some other center fielders make it look a little more difficult. He just has a great first step.
One of those big gloves, so big they measured it to see whether or not it fit within the rules. It did.
Barely.
Barely. Brett still smiles when asked. Here's Bell. Bell contributed an RBI triple in the third inning. Orlando Merced the other RBI also in the third when the Pirates got 2 runs on 3 hits. And Morgan is in with that one. Morgan has now retired the last 8 Pirate batters. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Rip foul. Look at it.
I think Jay Bell's done a lot more of this year is take the ball to the opposite field, and I think that's what's allowed him to drive in more runs. He's trying to hit the ball where it's pitched. Last year he was trying to jerk the ball more.
Morgan, that one pulled for Daniels, rather, who will haul it in, and there are 2 down. So Bell is out of there, 2 away here in the 6th inning. Morgan has really settled in.
Here's the throw from Bobby Bonilla, and not only is Eddie Murray out by 30 feet, but Bonilla throws a strike up the line, and Mike LaVallier's going, okay.
No collision on that one. 2 down, nobody on. Andy Van Slyke here in the 6th inning. With that tonight, Van Slyke batting at just .228. 2 for 11 lifetime against Morgan. Fouled off, a ball and a strike.
Well, Mike LaValliere is not a Mike Socia when it comes to blocking the plate, but when you got that chunky little body there and you're coming in and you're out by that much, Murray just said, Now that man right there is the best I have ever seen. I'm talking to a lot of old-time baseball people. They haven't seen one better at blocking the plate.
Socia held that one a moment, didn't get the call. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Van Slyke. Look out! Another shot between the legs of Morgan, who took a long look at Van Slyke. Whoa!
Well, you do hockey quite often. What's it called when it goes right between the goalie's legs? The 4-hole? What is that?
5-hole.
5-hole. Well, like Morgan, you have to close the wickets and get the glove hand down. I mean, right between the legs of Mike Morgan.
Jerry Royce would have been proud of that. A wicket shot. And here's Bonilla approaching that 300 mark. 0 for 2 tonight. Way outside on the off-speed pitch by Morgan. 5 hits for each team now. The Pirates, remember, in the third inning when they scored, their 2 runs did it with 2 down.
There's a few old-time pitchers who humorously call their position the Chuck and Duck spot on the diamond.
Don't duck on that kind of one hit back.
You don't get a lot of reaction time out there on the mound. You finish about 55 feet away from that batter. When he unloads a cannon shot, you better have a glove somewhere near protecting the vital parts of your body.
Another reason why the aluminum bat question at the major league level is detested. The pitchers, they have enough problems with shots like that hit off wooden bats. Aluminum bats, they wouldn't have a prayer. They'd have to pitch with that BP screen out there. Bobby Bonilla. 2-1 ball game. Pirates on top. 2 down, holding at first base. Murray on Van Slyke. Morgan. Runner goes on the 2-1. That's a base hit to center field. Van Slyke on his way to third. Butler will get it in to second base, and runners at the corners with 2 down.
Well, from the big stat department, Pirate notes tell us that when Van Slyke, Bonilla, and Bonds all have at least 1 hit in a game, and they do tonight, the Pirates are 12-1. Good break by Van Slyke, and Bonilla goes back up the middle for his first hit of the game. So Van Slyke, Bonilla, and Bonds all have 1 hit apiece tonight.
Well, can the Pirates do it again? Another 2-out rally. 6 hits. off Morgan, who came into this game with the 8th best opponent's batting average. Pirates trying to up that, and that's in there for a strike to Bonds. His single came in the 2nd inning.
Perry was looking for something else on the first delivery from Morgan.
Back-to-back 2-out singles. That's what the efficiency's all about, getting them in when they're on. There's Van Slyke, who's at 3rd. And he just missed Morgan again, having Socia frame that pitch for him. 1-1. Hasn't walked anybody, has struck out 4. Bonds takes it down low.
Situation right here, even though first base is occupied, I got to think very carefully about throwing Barry Bonds a strike here. Jeff King on deck, only hitting .213 versus right-handed pitcher. You don't have to throw Barry Bonds a strike here by any stretch of the imagination.
2-ball, 1-strike count on him. Morgan, he doesn't. 3-1. Boy, Bonds' numbers continue as a clutch hitter. You saw what he's doing this year. Last season, he hit .377 with runners in scoring position. That is an incredibly high number.
I'll tell you, if I'm Tommy Lasorda, I just got to give the ball 4 sign. I don't care if first base is occupied or not.
Trying to work it on the outside corner, but not giving him anything to hit. And the bases are loaded for the Pirates with 2 down, and Ron Paranowski on his way out.
A professional piece of pitching by Morgan, and he and Socia are on the same wavelength there. Again, you got right-handed hitting Jeff King. King is 0 for 2 tonight, has struck out and flied out. He's hitting .213 against right-handed pitching. And in that situation, you got to make Jeff King beat you, not Barry Bonds.
Now they will just make sure, Paranowski making sure, that everybody understands how they will work to King. This is probably the same sort of discussion they had pre-game. They want to make sure the positioning of the fielders is aligned with the desired pitching against.
Doug Drabek had a similar situation in the 3rd inning, although he had Darryl Strawberry up as Jim Gott heats up in the bullpen. Drabek struck out Strawberry. Mike Morgan in a position where he has to get a key out here to keep his club in the ball game.
Bases are loaded. Andy Van Slyke, Bobby Bonilla, and Barry Bonds are on. King hit into a double play and a fly ball to right his first time up. Did not get around on a fastball on that at-bat. Morgan misses outside there. Ball 1, 2 down. Bucks are leading 2-1. He, too, gets the job done. Last season, .232 with runners in scoring position. 1-0 count. Check swing ground ball towards first. Played to the bag by Eddie Murray, and that will do it. So Morgan works his way out of it. And the Pirates, who don't leave many on, leave them loaded. And here we've completed 6. And the pitch is in for a strike to Lenny Harris. I'll tell you one person I'm really happy for, Rick Aguilera, former starter, now pitching in relief. 17 saves with Minnesota. He's become their stopper.
Well, Andy McPhail, I'm sure, wearing a lot better smile. Last year saw Andy a couple of times, April and May, and the Twins really out of the chute poorly. They did have one good month last year and then fell right back into a pit again. But Twins have been the surprise team in the American League, and they've had a lot better pitching than people thought they were.
Much better. Lenny Harris batting at .311. He has not added to it here tonight. The road trip in which he's gone 8 for 25. Working against Drabek. Towards the hole. Great stop. Lean. Yep.
He may hit .250. He may hit into a lot of double plays, but that play shows you why Jose Lean is a valuable, valuable member of this Pittsburgh Pirate club. That ball was ticketed for right field. Watch the jump he gets. Quickness, giving ground, full-out extension. He is an acrobat.
And got it there in plenty of time. So Lenny Harris robbed of a potential leadoff single here in the 7th inning in a 1-run game. Big play, Jose Lean. 1 down. It'll bring up Mike Socia. Batting at .265. Drabek off speeds him again and misses up high.
Once again, the Buck defense, a throw by Bonilla, albeit Murray ran through the stop sign, and then Lean has helped Drabek the last couple of innings.
I always said of Mike, because of those numbers, he should have been a catcher with the Cubs. All those day games.
Jose's parents probably watching down in Puerto Rico tonight. Enjoyed that play.
1-1. Sosha up the middle's got the base hit. Drabek got that one out over the plate. Van Slyke will get it back in. And with one away, Sosha is on. Don't forget, premier golf event in the United States, the 91 U.S. Open for Minnesota, starting tomorrow at 11 in the morning and again at 5. And exclusively here at ESPN, you will see the first 2 rounds. Defending champion Hal Irwin, Jack Nicklaus, Greg Norman, Steve Ballesteros, and many more will be involved in it right here on ESPN. U.S. Open, first 2 rounds for you.
No activity in the Bucks bullpen, and if Lean didn't make the one play, that would have been 4 consecutive hits off Drabek.
Drabek getting tagged. That's a base hit. Bonilla plays it on a hop. Sosha will end up at third base. And the Dodgers are threatening again. Runners on at first and third here in the 7th inning. Back-to-back singles. Sosha and Griffin with 1 out. And with the pitcher due up, we will get a pinch hitter.
Well, it's not Tony Gwynn, but it's his brother Chris, who has been hitting the ball well for the Dodgers coming off the bench so far. 5 for 16 with 6 RBIs. So Chris Gwynn, Tony's younger brother, will step in and see if he can find a way to tie this game up.
Drabek has now given up 7 hits. He has been touchable. And Jimmy Leland leaning a little bit now and had checked the stat numbers, put the book back, see who's done what against whom here.
Pirates this year have turned the fewest double plays in the major leagues. That's not because Bell and Lean aren't capable. They just haven't had a lot of opportunities. A lot of people think that's one of the more overrated statistics. And Jim Leland's going to come out and talk to Doug Drabek.
Chris Gwynn, good strong numbers as a pinch hitter. Now Jimmy Leland will come out. The bullpen needs a little time here, so the walk will be a little slower than normal for Leland to talk to Drabek. To get it going, Belinda and Kipper, the left-hander Kipper. They will get more time. There'll be no move made right here on Drabek. Well, Mike Morgan, out of the ball game, thank God.
I just think of him as the big horse for the Dodgers, the Morgan.
He's got to be hoping here. Morgan is, in the games that he's lost, 4 of them, it's been by either 1 or 2 runs. He just has had, as Dave said earlier, very little offensive help. Here's a chance, though, while he sits and watches, for the Dodgers to do some good for him. 1 down, Gwynn waiting. Strike 1.
Again, the ability to get the breaking ball over at first pitch. Most major league hitters go up, especially off the bench, at first pitch fastball.
Gwynn goes after it. Lean. There's one. The relay. Their 31st double play. Still the fewest, but they won't matter right here. They're still up by 1. Well, a 2-1 at the 7th inning stretch point, made possible by a double play. As Dave said, they don't pull many.
Well, they don't, but they sure are capable. Jose Lean goes to the hole. He makes 2 great plays in the inning. Watch how quickly he gets rid of it. Gives a great feed to Jay Bell, who stays on the bag. Comes across, avoids the sliding Alfredo Griffin, and the Dodgers out. The Pirates have made 3 great defensive plays, and that's why they're leading this one 2-1.
There is Jose Lean right there. He will get a shot at it, second up in the inning. LaValliere to lead it off. Chris Gwynn hitting into the double play for the 4th time this season. Marty Aronoff, our erstwhile statistician on ESPN's Wednesday night games, notes that he's now 0 for his last 8 as a pinch hitter. We got a new pitcher.
Mike Hartley, strong-arm right-hander. He leads the Dodgers in appearances. Comes in quite often when they're behind, tries to hold the fort. That's his job right here.
And so Morgan does not get the run support. Could lose it, can't win it. Could be non-decision.
Well, there's always that one guy. 1989, Mike Morgan only had 2.5 runs per game from his mates. This year, only 2.8. So he just does not get the run support.
Mike LaValliere taking Hartley's delivery for ball 2 as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And LaValliere's going to wait him up. Hartley gets it in, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Hope I don't put the Campbell curse on this game, but this has really been a well-played game on both sides.
A couple of teams playing like this, you would expect to be leading their respective divisions, and indeed they are. 3 balls and 1 strike on LaValliere. Told you these 2 teams would work for the 1 run at a time. That's what we've had to do here, and LaValliere's on again. Well, LaValliere had a single in the 3rd inning, draws the walk here in the bottom half of the 7th to lead it off. Gary?
Gary, Tommy Green trying to keep that Cinderella season going at the Astrodome. The Philly starter is yet to lose. He leads the National League in ERA, but Eric Yelding pokes one into center field. Bagwell comes home. Finley added a sac fly. The Astros are batting again in the 3rd, and Houston has a 2-0 lead behind Jim DeShays.
Tommy Lasorda hoping. Hartley.
Mike.
Now we'll be looking for the double play.
Yeah, Mike Hartley. LaValliere's not going anywhere, Mike. I got a clue for you.
Not a premier base stealer. And that one is bounced. And Hartley's off to a very rocky start. LaValliere gets to second the easy way on the wild pitch by Hartley.
Well, with activity in the Pirate bullpen, it may be Jose Lean may bunt here because they will probably pinch hit for Doug Drabek. Normally in this situation, Lean would probably try to hit the ball to the right side of the diamond because he does that very well. And Tom Lasorda has sent Ron Karnowski as pitching coach back to the phone. He wants to find out if Candelaria is ready, the left-hander, and the right-hander, Kevin Gross.
Draw a little time here for the bullpen on the walk to the mound. Now they'll switch it up, put God up for the 2nd time. Gross sits down. 1-0 pitch to Lean, not bunting there. He does have Lenny Harris in at 3rd base. Lean does not have a sacrifice yet this season. Harris looked at the big cut as Lean tried to ram it down his throat. Batting at .244. Hartley checking LaValliere at 2nd base. 1-1 again, trying to pull it. 1-2.
So Hartley trying to battle back from a rough beginning, a walk and a wild pitch. He's back to get ahead of Lean 1-2.
Two to 1 lead for the Bucks here. Trying to add to it. Just missed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember, on a base hit, LaValliere does not have speed, the base runner there at 2nd base. And the outfield is very shallow on Lean, not a power hitter. Here's the 2-2 by Hartley, and that's foul back. Pitcher due up. Pirates. See whether or not Drabek actually gets to the plate.
Showed some signs of weakening the last couple of innings. He did get the key ground ball out. Double play ball off the bat of Chris Gwynn.
Jose Lean doing battle here with Hartley. 2-2 the count. Nobody out. Shallow center, right where they had him played. Butler. LaValliere just stays halfway. He'll go back to 2nd base. 1 out. And we are going to get a pinch hitter.
Well, it's time to dig into part of the Cubs West for Jim Leyland. 4 of the 6 bench players for the Pittsburgh Pirates within the last 2 years played for the Chicago Cubs. Gary Varsho coming on as 1. Curtis Wilkerson, Mitch Webster, Lloyd McClendon. round out the fourth.
Here's one. Gary Varsho will loosen up. Friday night, don't forget these Dodgers will be home against the St. Louis Cardinals. Another team that surprised a few people. You'll see it right here on ESPN. Orel Hershiser scheduled to make the start in his comeback bid. 10:30 Friday from Dodger Stadium.
Talked to a lot of scouts around baseball. I have not seen the Cardinals this year, but they are very impressed the way Joe Torre has that club playing.
Gary Varsho stands in. Runner at second base. One away. Drabek out of the game. Strawberry in right. LaValliere not tagging. Now he tags. I don't know why he wasn't tagging from the get-go, but he wouldn't have taken off in any event. Strawberry got it back in, 2 down.
That's called knowing your limitations.
Yeah. So Varsho, pinch hitting, goes after the first pitch.
First baseman, Orlando Merced.
Spanky gets between a rock and a hard place. See, I don't have enough speed to tag up. Strawberry's probably going to catch it, but I'll make him throw it. But I'm not going to get too far off second base because Alfredo Griffin's going to duck in behind me here.
And before he even had a chance to look up, Merced discovers he's going to get an intentional pass. He was still loosening up and positioning himself when Hartley threw the first pitch outside.
Be interested to see if that pitch counted. Let's count. That's ball 2. There's 3. Home plate umpire Ed Montague barely looked up in time to see that first one. We'll see if that makes him throw one more after this one.
And see why they don't give Merced the chance. He delivered the RBI single in the 3rd inning. Now Bello had the RBI triple. Will move in. Runners on at first and second with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Pirates up on the Dodgers by a score of 2-1.
Well, we talked at length in the onset about the great 1-2 tandem of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Brett Butler and Juan Samuel, but tonight it's been Orlando Merced and Jay Bell that have been the stars for the Bucks. 3rd intentional walk Merced has picked up this season. Barry Bonds has 4 to lead the club, and Bell not going to touch that. 0-1. So Hartley, the walk. A wild pitch with LaValliere at second. 2 fly ball outs to Lean and Varsho. Now first and second. The intentional pass to Orlando Merced. Trying to hold this game at a 1-run differential. Bell started to lean in. Took that one head high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Batting .249 on the season. But you see again the kind of clutch hitting Pirates are getting almost up and down this lineup. 1-1 by Hartley. Scioscia blocks it. Of course, Jim Leland, many years a coach under Tony La Russa, another club, or a club that has really struggled with physical problems this year. The Oakland A's keep saying, hey, whatever it takes, we're going to find a way. And you kind of have the same feeling about this Pirate club. Not great offensive numbers, but whatever it takes to win, they find a way, and it's showing tonight so far.
Towards third, Lenny Harris force play at second, gets it there. None too soon. Juan Samuel crossing the bag to get the force out on Orlando Merced, who got there in a hurry.
ESPN Major League Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you, friends know when to say when. By the Century 21 system. Just tell us what you want. It's as good as done. And by Pizza Hut, home of the new Italian classic combo. Pizza Hut, making it great.
Great ball game underway. Gary Thorne, Dave Campbell, delighted to have you with us in Pittsburgh as the Pirates hanging on to that 2-1 lead. They got the 2 runs in the 3rd inning. Cal Daniels a home run for the Dodgers, and both starters are gone.
Bob Patterson working very well against left-handers this year. Numbers not reflective of his overall value against the southpaw hitters, because 4 for 30 the line of left-handed batters against him. And with Brett Butler leading off, Darryl Strawberry hitting 3rd. That's why Jim Leland goes to Bob Patterson in this situation.
Dodgers are batting .265 against the right-handers, but only .227 against left-handers this season. We'll see whether or not the strategy works. Brett Butler, one of those who does hit the left-handers. You see his season average. He's hitting .295 against the lefties. And it's up high by Patterson. Butler's job here to get on. 1-run differential. We're in the 8th inning. Second in runs scored in the league. He does that job of getting on so well. And he's going to make Patterson throw strikes. In at third on him is King. He will bunt. And he does. Foul. Anything to get on for Brett Butler.
Well, pitch is seen first, and he was first a year ago. He just really works the pitches over. Batting average down a little bit from what Brett would like it, but his job, get on base.
He is 10th at on-base percentage coming into tonight's game. 1-1 count on him here. He's one of the few hitters left in the game who actually noticeably chokes up. You can actually see the end of that bat. And he takes it outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Patterson's ERA of 5.32, reflective of 1 pitch to a left-handed batter that didn't go exactly where he wanted to. Sid Bream hit a grand slam against him.
Butler may have helped him, and he knows it. That pitch was probably up high, and Butler, after the swing, just kind of rolled his eyes away, because that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he wasn't happy that he climbed the ladder. Two balls, 2 strikes on Butler. Patterson fights it off. The bat ends up down the first baseline. This is the kind of battle you get out of Brett Butler, and why the Dodgers and other teams as well really wanted him. Gives you those quality at-bats.
Well, the good hitters always find a way to fight off the tough pitches, even if they have to throw their bat at it, and they just keep hanging tough till they get something they can handle.
Tied Lenny Dykstra for the lead in hits last season. He has scored 100 or more runs 5 different seasons. 2-2. That's a leadoff batter. Patterson, 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's a career .290 hitter against lefties. But as you see, he is a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, there's 2 hitters in the lineup tonight that hit better against lefties. You're looking at one of them, Brett Butler, and the other one is Barry Bonds of the Pirates, who has always hit better against left-handed pitching.
3-2, and he did it. Down the line into the corner. Bonds. Butler will take a big turn and hang on. Nice play by Bonds to get it in. Good piece of hitting by Butler. Gary?
We're taken to Olympic Stadium, where all Cam Boyd had an 8-3 lead, but the Reds put 2 aboard, and Chris Sabo reaches down and launches it out of the yard. His 8th home run of the year is a 3-run jack. The Reds are back in it. It's 8-6, and they're batting again now in the 6th inning.
Butler is going to take a timeout here. He may have pulled a muscle in the big turn he made at first base. He's showing Ben Himes that he did it going around the bag. And you can see in some pain. Jimmy Leland is at the mound. Ray Miller. Jimmy Leland discussing the situation, and Miller sent out.
Once again, Barry Bonds, great defensive play in left field, holds that ball to a single. He just covers so much ground out there, and the Pirate defense tonight has been magnificent.
This is the first inning in which the Dodgers have had the leadoff man on base.
Look how far he goes, and then gets himself in great throwing position. And Brett Butler, I don't know if he would have tried for 2 had he not stumbled or not, but it would have been a bang-bang play at second.
Kipper, who's been up before, and so has Stan Belinda. Patterson now facing Juan Samuel, and we'll take a look at first base with Butler there. So again, the Dodgers are threatening in this 2-1 ball game. You see Samuel, strong numbers both ways. 338 average overall. With the 0 for 2 he's had tonight, an 11-game hit streak may be on the line in this at-bat. Butler does not go. It's in for a strike. All the earmarkings of a National League game in this one. Pitchers who are throwing strikes, you get somebody on, try and move them around, play for one run at a time.
And even the aggressive base running, which cost Eddie Murray. Ran through a stop sign at third base. The Dodgers were the most aggressive running team in the National League last year, trying to take the extra base.
Good heat. Inside, up, 0-2.
That stat is rated on going 2 bases on a single and 3 bases on a double. And the Dodgers, 47% of the time, took the extra base last year. That was the best in the National League.
Win you some ball games.
A little tougher to do it on the carpet, though. You got those grass fields, you can run it a little more at liberty.
Patterson has the 0-2 count, checking to see if Butler is going to go. Butler just stood his ground, staring at Patterson. Drabek, 7 innings, a run, the home run by Daniels, 7 hits, walked 1 and struck out 4. Mike Morgan, 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, walked 1 and struck out 4. They are the pitchers of record. The 0-2 delivery. Sam Wells stays off it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the problems Samuel has had in past seasons, and he's had a couple of good years at the plate, have been the strikeouts. This season he has struck out 44 times coming into tonight's game. But you'll take that when you got a .336 batting average. Highest he's ever hit, 278. Did it in 2 separate seasons. Butler easily back to the bag. Cat and mouse being played here. There's Strawberry waiting on deck. Nobody out. Patterson trying to get the ground ball for the double play and takes too long. Butler back to the bag. Samuel out of the box. Samuel has grounded into only 2 double plays this season. Patterson checking the 1-2 delivery, and again high and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's trying to get Samuel to bite on that high inside fastball.
This is as far as Patterson wants to go. He doesn't want to go 3-2. That'll almost surely activate Butler. He may run 2-2, but 3-2 he's almost sure to go.
2-2. Butler not going, and again Samuel refuses to bite on high heat. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Awaiting Strawberry.
What this does by going 3-2 and the fact that unless Butler's leg is bad, first of all, the defense is shortened up with the double play anyway. Now one of them will be on the move, creating an extra hole in the inner defense.
3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. A 2-1 Pirates lead. Top half of the 8th inning, and again a little too long. Samuel backs out as Patterson taking his time here. Part of it trying to hold Butler as close as he can at first base. 3-2 delivery. Runner goes left field. Bonds. Butler backtracking, and Patterson wins that battle. 1 away as he gets Samuel.
Good piece of base running by Brett Butler. He made sure that Patterson had gone to the plate before he broke.
Strawberry drawing the reaction again every at-bat. He is 0 for 3. 3rd inning. Big strikeout for Drabek on him. He had the bases loaded. It was the 3rd out on the K. And again this season, the left-handers have given him problems. 1 down.
Second official game back since the shoulder problem. He was off for 7 days. Did start last night in the abbreviated 1.5 innings before it was rained out.
One away, Butler at first base, and stepping off Patterson. Those numbers are not indicative of Darryl Strawberry's career numbers. Despite some of the knocks on Strawberry, he has always been a very good clutch hitter. He hit .304 with runners in scoring position last season, had big numbers as the ball game got along into late innings and tight games. And takes that pitch down low, ball 1. He is 3 for 17 lifetime against Patterson. This is what the game's all about. 2-1 ball game, 8th inning. The straw that stirs has him stirring. 1-0. That's in.
Figures that Butler will not run unless maybe Darryl gets 2 strikes on him. Butler, one of 4 players to steal 30 or more bases 7 years in a row. His teammate Juan Samuel, one of those 4. The other 2 are Ricky Henderson and Tim Raines. But I think he'll give Strawberry 1 more strike.
Strawberry making Patterson wait here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. To Strawberry, reached for the off-speed pitch. 1-2.
A little anxious. Patterson really changed speeds, took something off. He had been throwing hard sliders, took a lot off that one, and Darryl was out in front. You see Darryl's going to be out in front and ends up reaching one hand. Patterson's ahead 1-2. See if Butler goes here.
The chant of Darryl. Patterson steps off. Butler back to the bag.
Gary talked about it earlier. Both catchers have had a lot of trouble throwing out base runners this year.
1-2 to Strawberry. Stays that way as he fouls it off. You can almost sense, Dave, watching Darryl swing. He's pressing a little. He's a little tentative, jumping a little bit. The confidence isn't there.
He really is. The one thing I've noticed about Darryl lately, though, is when he does get 2 strikes on him, all of a sudden he just tries to make solid contact. He doesn't swing for the home run anymore, and that's a change. Earlier in his career, he had the 3 big acts.
1-2 the count again. Throw to first, and Butler's back.
Patterson has worked him slider, fastball in, slow curve, fastball in. Let's see what he comes back with here.
Pirates are leading 2-1 here in the 8th. Runner on, 1 out. Patterson the 1-2. Strawberry again fouls it off. Well, a straw, if he doesn't hit into the double play, can keep the inning alive for the cleanup batter, Eddie Murray. But his eyes, like everybody else's right now, are at home plate.
Patterson's breaking ball not getting a lot of downward bite on it, kind of staying in one plane.
Bob Patterson working in relief. 3rd time, 1-2 pitch, swung on it, hit in the air to left. Bonds settles under it. 2 down. Gary Miller.
Here, let's quickly update you on that Twin winning streak. They scored 5 in the 1st, but Barfield homered earlier, and here he was with a man aboard in the 4th. His 2nd home run of the game, his 13th of the year. It came off Alan Anderson, and the Yanks are within 2 as they play the 5th. Let's go back to Three Rivers.
And unhappy Darryl Strawberry, he's had a couple of chances with people on in this game.
I agree with you, though, Gary. I think he's swinging a little tentative. I talked about the fact that he cuts down his swing a little bit with 2 strikes, but he's not having real good rips early in the count as well.
So Eddie Murray will give it a whirl. Brett Butler did his job. He got the lead-off single, working the count to 3-2. Now Murray against the left-hander, trying to get him around. He doubled his last time up and was thrown out at the plate. Two down.
Bob Patterson came on in Game 5 of the National League playoffs last year. Bases loaded against Cincinnati. Pirates were facing elimination and induced a double play ball off the bat of Jeff Reed. Probably the biggest moment of his career.
No balls and 2 strikes on Murray.
Eddie was looking for something soft, and Patterson came back with another fastball to go ahead 0-2.
For the Dodgers, this inning's been what they wanted. Leadoff man on, heart of the order up, a 2 down and an 0-2 count, and Butler's still at first.
Will he here, won't he? Worst thing that happens is he gets thrown out. You got Eddie Murray leading off the 9th inning. Isn't too bad a deal for the Dodgers.
0-2 the count, same lead. And again, Patterson steps off. He's trying to get an indication from Brett Butler by getting him to lean or take a jump step, whether or not he's going to go, but Butler's not feeding him any info.
Nickname is Emmett because he's one of the great fix-it men after the character on Mayberry RFD, and Emmett's been watching too many American League games.
0-2 count on Eddie Murray. There goes Butler, and was the timeout taken? I think so. Butler will come back. Home plate umpire Ed Montague walked away as Eddie Murray, the batter, asked for the timeout. And he's got his hands on his hip, a little disgusted with himself, I think.
Well, I don't know who called it. Maybe Eddie called it without taking his hand out the bat and said time, and Montague gave it to him. Butler, oblivious, had a pretty good jump.
Still an 0-2, and Butler's still at first.
Well, I think I might invest one pitch and a pitch out here just to find out something. Got the count in your favor.
0-2 count. Butler's extended his lead. You notice Butler's lead. He had 1 foot on the carpet and 1 in the dirt. That time he had both feet on the carpet.
The great Lou Brock saw him more than once take a lead about 6 feet further than normal. All of a sudden the pitcher would look over at him and Lou would just take off for second base while the pitcher was throwing to first, and Brock would beat it to second. Well, Butler's either guessing real well or he has Patterson totally read. I think he's got Patterson read.
He's got a bigger lead, and he's walking back into the bag on the throws to first base. Patterson can get Eddie Murray. None of this at first base will matter. Butler, both feet on the carpet again. 0-2 count to Murray, who's still waiting. Butler not going, and Murray is gone. Well, Patterson gets the strikeout and the leadoff single, to no avail for the Dodgers. Well, they're dancing to the Jailhouse Rock a little tentatively by that score, 2-1, but the Pittsburgh Pirates are already 8-3 in one-run ball games this season. While the Dodgers have gone 7-8 in one-run affairs. These teams in their first meeting of the season after the rainout after 2 innings last night. And a new Dodger pitcher, left-hander John Candelario.
He has been marvelous for the Dodgers so far. In addition to those numbers, only 4 of the first 21 batters have made base. The last 9 first batters he's faced, he's struck out 7. And he is flat ugly on left-handed batters.
Andy Van Slyke, great stop at second. Sam Well denies Andy Van Slyke a leadoff single. We have seen some sparkling second base play.
Well, Gary, we've done games this year where you wondered whether little leaguers or big leaguers were playing, but tonight you're seeing major league defense at its finest. Juan Samuel, not noted for the great glove work, robs Andy Van Slyke. Tough hop, gets it, throws on to Eddie Murray, and he and Jose Lean have been splendid tonight.
So 1 away, and this will bring up Bobby Bonilla, and he drills it into left field. Shoestring, that was Hop. That's a base hit. Daniels could not make the catch. Bonilla's on his second hit. Gary?
A pitcher's duel deluxe in Cleveland where they won 12 innings the night before in a 2-1 game. Now Hanky trying to keep the shutout for the Jays, and he gets Baerga and his 9th save. Timlin had never gone more than 3 2/3 in his career. He had 6 one-hit innings. Toronto takes a 1-game lead on the Red Sox in the AL East.
I think the Blue Jays just found their 5th starter. Mike Timlin, maybe?
Sure hope that's going to last, don't they?
Ooh.
Candelaria now working to Bonds. He's been on twice, a single and a walk, batting .257 on the season. As we were talking about earlier, a left-handed hitter who hits left-handers. Bobby Bonilla with 1 downs on at first base. Bonilla's picked up 2 singles, 2 for 4 in the game. Bonilla's got it going now. He's had 5 hits in his last 12 at-bats, pushing the average up even higher, closing in on that 300 mark. 1 ball, 1 strike. There goes the base runner. Scioscia got him. And Bonilla is caught stealing.
Only the Pardon me?
Go right ahead.
I was going to say only his 4th try this year, and Babby cut down. So Mike Scioscia improves his percentage. Quick tag by Alfredo Griffin just in the nick of time before Bonilla gets the foot in there.
And only the 8th base runner thrown out by Mike Scioscia. But a big one right there.
That was I said, he said.
That's right. I said, he said only. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count now with the bases empty and 2 down here in the bottom half of the inning. And Candelaria misses outside with it, 3-1.
I'm impressed that Barry Bonds can hang in against Candelaria because there's a lot of left-handed hitters sitting in the living rooms tonight bailing out. Candy at 6'7", coming sidearm. There's no comfort zone up there for the left-handed hitter.
And he walked it. So Bonds is on with 2 down. Candelaria is being settled down a little right now by Mike Scioscia. Thought he may have been jumping a little, unhappy with a couple of calls. Yes, it's right here on ESPN. The 91 U.S. Open coming up tomorrow at 11 and at 5. ESPN live coverage of the first 2 rounds. You'll see the defending champion Hal Irwin, Jack Nicklaus, Craig Norman, Seve Ballesteros, and many more exclusively here on ESPN. First 2 rounds U.S. Open tomorrow at 11. Murray holding the bag on Bonds at first, 2 down.
Candy almost picked off Eddie Murray that time.
Murray talking to Candelaria before he throws the ball back.
Eddie's saying throw it to the plate, and Eddie got betwixt between, and all of a sudden had to lunge to keep him from going down the right field line.
2 away, runner goes again. Scioscia again. It's there. Great throw. Mike Scioscia throwing out both Bonilla and Bonds. 9th inning of a 1-run game. Well, the Dodgers will get their last shot at it, and for the Dodgers being chased by Cincinnati, the Pirates have got an opportunity to extend their lead over the Mets. They're 5.5 games up on the Mets starting today's play. Mets are being beaten by Atlanta. St. Louis playing at San Diego later tonight. They've got a chance to move ahead of the Mets if they continue to lose. And Patterson's got a chance for his 2nd save. The Dodgers in the 9th inning, trailing by a score of 2-1. The only RBI, his home run, came in the 4th inning off Drabek. And he drills that to center field, and they're on again.
Now, so far, Cal Daniels has hit 2 hangers and then 1 pretty decent breaking ball, but the net result on 3 breaking pitches, he has 3 solid hits, including a long home run tonight. Patterson makes a mistake up with a breaking ball, and Cal Daniels, who waits well, we talked about that earlier, lashes at the center.
So we've got it going again. 2nd time they've had the leadoff man on. Jose Gonzalez will go in as the pinch runner with Letty Harris coming up. Saw Daniels heading into the dugout. There's Gonzalez putting the speed on.
I think the fact that Lasorda leaves Daniels on, or leaves Harris on here, may indicate that he's going to go for the sacrifice bunt. A lot of managers will play to win on the road, tie at home, but Tommy, maybe believing in his bullpen, may try to get the tie here and bunt the man along.
Harris will be followed by Scioscia, then Alfredo Griffin due up. Patterson, 2nd inning of relief. Leadoff man on him, both of them. He does square. They got a chance at 2nd. He's going to go to 1st. and will get the out to lean. A sacrifice bunt for Lenny Harris. And Gonzalez, the potential tying run at second base with one out.
Well, let's see what Lasorda does. He has Gary Carter available, but he knows if he brings on Carter, we'll probably see a right-hander. Patterson, we thought maybe had a shot, but Harris deadened that ball pretty well. Patterson right here, it's really going to be iffy at second base. I think he makes the right choice to first.
Lenny Harris gets it done. They announce Javier as the pinch hitter as Tommy Lasorda has made his decision.
Good move by Tommy, because Javier, being a switch hitter, doesn't matter what Jim Leland does now. He's got the man up there he wants, Javier.
Throughout this game, you've had the feeling the Dodgers have been just this close.
They have been, and the
tying this game.
The thing that's kept them from it has been the Pirate defense.
Let's see what happens here. Javier coming to the plate. Patterson waiting for him to get there. With the runner on at second base. Javier, the switch hitter, batting .200 right-handed, 176 left-handed. No home runs and a couple of RBIs for Stan Javier, and Jimmy Leland is on his way out. He's checked his computer printout. He's had the bullpen ready. And he will make the move to the right-hander. So, in this one-run ball game, it's been this way throughout. We'll see whether or not the Dodgers can get it done here in the 9th inning. Well, a good one underway here. Pittsburgh 2-1, lead in jeopardy. Potential tying run on at second base, and the stopper for the Pirates is on.
Bill Landrum 11 for 11 in save opportunities. Had a bit of an off season last year. Knee problems, but Ray Miller, his pitching coach, says last year he was in the 88 to 89 range. This year up around 92. Also has a sharp breaking ball.
Landrum last season 7-3 and 13 saves. The year before 26 saves. Gonzalez at second base, one out. Javier 0 for 2 lifetime against Landrum is in. First ball to left field. Bonds. And there are two down. So the Dodgers are down to their final out.
Tough decision for Tommy Lasorda right now. He's got a left-handed batter, Alfredo Griffin, a switch hitter. But if he doesn't want Griffin, who's been struggling to hit, he can only go with a righty. And that righty will be the veteran, Gary Carter. So the Dodgers, with a lot of left-handers in the lineup, but Chris Gwynn was their only pure left-handed hitter on the bench, and he was used earlier. Lasorda forced to go to Gary Carter here. But if you're going to be forced, it's not a bad veteran to go to with a game on the line.
Gary Carter has had one hit in 6 at-bats against Landrum. That hit was a home run. Runner at second now, and 2 down as the kid moves in. Dodgers are down 2-1 and down to their final out here in the top of the 9th inning. Morgan, the pitcher of record for the Dodgers, could lose it. Drabek could be 5-7 if he gets the win. And Landrum is after that save. Landrum 50 out of 56 save opportunities in 3 years with the Pirates. Can he get another? Carter way out in front of an off-speed breaking ball. Landrum has become a local hero for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Guy kind of in the Doug Jones mold. Didn't take him quite as long, but a long tenure in the minor leagues. Perseverance paid off for Bill Landrum.
7+ years of minor league baseball. 0-1 count on Carter. Gonzalez off second, and the kid goes to right field. Should be the ball game. Bobby Bonilla is under it, and in this first meeting, the Pittsburgh Pirates will come away with a victory over the Dodgers.
Well, terrific work by the Pittsburgh Pirates on the defensive side. Jose Lean, Bobby Bonilla, Barry Bonds with big plays. Doug Drabek, 7 solid innings, good relief, and clutch hitting by Orlando Merced and Jay Bell. And it all adds up to what has become a trademark for these Pirates, a very efficient victory.
9-3 in one-run games. They are 36-19 on the season. The Dodgers 33-24. The winner, Drabek, 5-7. Morgan, the starter and loser. Landrum, 12 for 12 in saves. Daniels, the home run, accounting for the only Dodger run in this ball game. Dodgers leaving 8 on base. They had opportunities.
And Eddie Murray on a base hit by Cal Daniels ran through a stop sign by Joe Amalfitano, and he was a dead pigeon. 27-3 the Pirates are when they score first. They win 2-1.
And that's going to do it from Pittsburgh. For Dave Campbell and all of our crew, this is Gary Thorne. Our final